Hello, and welcome to Havoc Wargaming, dedicated to bringing you the uncommon. For those of you who haven't met me, my name is Ron, and today we're going to do a review of some Japanese buildings from the line by Blotz. So let's get started. Recently, while I was constructing some new model kits I received from Blotz in England, some Japanese MDF buildings, it occurred to me, mostly because one of my subscribers was asking me where a Congo measuring stick came from, that I haven't actually given Blotz a lot of time on my channel. For those of you who aren't familiar with Blotz, it's a small company in England. I first started doing business with them when I was playing Guild Ball. They're a company kind of like Litgo. They make a lot of different tokens. They do customized tokens, which is really brilliant, but they do a lot of tokens for specific games as well. I use their tokens for Frostgrave, for instance. But they also have several lines of buildings and also building parts. They do them in several different scales. It's actually a pretty clever company. And I actually have quite a few models by them I really like. Some of it's just street scatter. They have a lot of my modern scatter and my pulp scatter, my Gangland War scatter. A lot of this stuff comes from Blotz. But they also have some really nice buildings. I have a beautiful mill. I made by Bohr, but that's a component part where you can keep adding things to it, making the mill bigger and bigger. As I wanted it to match or to play the part of a mill in a War of the Roses game I was running. I didn't want too much of that, but I may go ahead and do that in the future. A number of my buildings that I'm using right now for Dark Ages and for my Dux Britannorum campaign that I'm playing with my club are their buildings from their Dark Ages line. And now I have these Japanese buildings that I'll be using for Ronin, but they'd be just as useful for Force of Honor, maybe Daisho or any of these other 28mm samurai games that are out there. With that in mind, I thought I'd give you a chance to take a look at these Japanese buildings. Let's go to the building table. What we're going to do is talk a little bit about these Blotz Japanese buildings. I really like these little models. I'm very happy with them. I bought a number of the different houses. I think I bought most of them. Some of them have tile roofs like this. These all come unpainted. You have to paint them themselves. They recommend painting them before you assemble them. Actually, this one is an example. I've done very little painting. I painted these white panels and I painted the roof. Left it with the natural wood colors. It would have looked really good with stain, I think. But this is a basic tile one. The buildings are all very similar in how they go together and how they work. The roofs come off. They have sliding doors. The doors are a little weird to me. I may glue paper behind them to suggest shoji. It seems odd to me that they are just open like they are. And maybe that was the intention, was to glue paper and make them shoji. So I may actually do that, but these, a little bit of fur in there. Then you have full interiors. They're simple interiors. They're all like one-room buildings. But still, I brought a figure here to give an example of what they look like. This is a North Star figure from the Ronin line. I meant to grab a Perry figure, and I did not. A Perry Samurai. I think they're just a little shorter, maybe, which is odd, but or not as bulky at least. But you see good work out here. They all have basically the same construction. The bases are made out of 2 decks to give you this raised look here. The walls, start with the interior walls, then the external have these boards placed on them and then inserts that go in to form the exterior white portions. I have this house here. This is another one with a tile roof, obviously. Slightly larger porch this time. Roof does come off. Actually, so do these pieces. I may end up gluing them down because I think I broke a tab. But again, simple one room, sliding doors. Beautiful. I think they're just absolutely beautiful looking. They all went together very, very well. They're not too expensive. They get a little pricey in the typical modern day sense because of what's happened with shipping between us and Britain. But a lot of these their base price is surprisingly low. Now, a number of these have teddy bear fur roofs. There's guidelines, there's instructions online on how to assemble these and on how to use the teddy bear roofs. I One of the members of my club is very much against yellow roofs, and I was going to paint these gray, but I still like the way they look. Right now, I'm worried about painting them gray, that I won't like them as much. And also, since I glued these on, it'll be hard. But I really do like the look. Many people seem to think that rush roofs and thatching is a yellowish color, or yellowish or tan color like this, but it tends to gray really, really fast. And I actually checked and looked at some old Japanese buildings to see if maybe their plant didn't work differently than the European species. But no, sure enough, they tend to be gray too. And I realize I don't know how long that those Japanese buildings have had those roofs on them. But I can tell you, having watched the process at Jamestown here in Virginia, it grays pretty quick. But I really like the look, so I'm probably going to leave them. Maybe they just all had it done. Maybe these houses were all rebuilt after an earthquake. There's another one. This is actually an exact reverse of the one we just saw, but that's okay. There's a bunch of walls they do. I'm probably going to buy some of those. I'm trying to decide. I have some walls by Oshira already, so I don't know what I actually need anyway. This one got broke. They're a little delicate. That's a problem. I was hoping that glue would secure that, but it hasn't. Again, one little tiny room. This is a really small little house. Everything that they've got right now, most of these are being sold as houses, which is kind of limiting, but I mean, I can call them whatever I want, right? And lastly, the exception to what I just said is there's a small Shinto shrine. This is one of the weirdest ones. This one needs to be touched up. You can see where my sprues are, and I should file those down and paint them. Maybe we'll paint these steps. Oh yeah, I have to. I only repainted these on the one side, so I placed that on the inside so I could easily paint it later, and I forgot all about that. There's also supposed to be some gold discs up here, so this one needs some touch up. But a little Shinto shrine there. So those are some buildings from Blotz. I have a number of other buildings. I think I may have covered some of them, but I don't know if I made a big deal about talking about them being Blotz. I have some Dark Age buildings also with these fir roofs on them. I have painted those ones gray. And I probably have some other things. They do a lot of tokens. I definitely have tokens. My Frostgrave tokens are all from them. My Congo stuff is from them, mostly because they do these just beautiful measuring sticks. I bought all the tokens, but Congo came with most of the tokens you needed anyway. Oh, and I also have a beautiful mill that they do that I've been using for War of the Roses. So it's a good company. I definitely recommend them. I think they're a lot of fun. I think their prices are reasonable for most of their things. And their models are getting better and better. I just really like some of the stuff they do and realize I haven't given them enough attention here. So there you have it. I think those buildings are really nice, and they were really affordable, really a decent price for them. I mean, I got quite a few of them, but still per building they're a pretty good price, and that helps offset the expense of shipping. A lot of their other buildings are pretty interesting. I didn't mention it, but they also do building parts. They do various stairways and things like that. So if you're doing scratch building or kit bashing or alteration of kits, you might find some use for that too. This is a really worthwhile company, and it's worth your time to take a look at them. I'm going to go ahead and include in this video and in the comment section down below their address so you can find them if you're not familiar with this company, because I definitely think you should give them some time, or at least go and see what they have, see if there's anything that interests you. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've done business with Blotz in the past, or you have some of their things, I hope you'll share your experience with them in our comment section down below. Also, if you have any questions you'd like to ask regarding this video, we look for those in the comment section, and any ideas you may have for further content you'd like to see us produce here on Cry Havoc Wargaming. If you've enjoyed the video, I hope that you'll hit like, and if you'd like to receive further notification for videos like this one, or other videos that may help you determine how to better spend your time or money in your tabletop wargaming hobby, then I hope you'll hit subscribe and ring our notification bell. Till next time, cheers.